On this episode of Geek Dad Life, we're going to talk about some of the reveals that have already come from New York Toy Fair, from Hasbro's Ghostbusters toy line, and oh my gosh, the Real Ghostbusters toys are coming back! Hey everyone, and welcome to Geek Dad Life. It's your host, Jay Glatfelter here. I have been battling the flu this past week or so, but I had to talk about these reveals that have already come out from Hasbro at this year's New York Toy Fair. There's a lot of things that have come from a lot of different places, so I'm going to try and coalesce them here, break them down, have some of my thoughts about them, and maybe theorize how it's all going to go down. The Hasbro is going to, for the first time, live stream their presentation from Toy Fair tomorrow on their Facebook page. So if anybody, including us watching this video right now, can watch their presentation tomorrow at 1:30 on their Facebook page. They're doing it Facebook Live. So that's really exciting. So I was originally planning on doing a video after that presentation, but with all the information that we got today, I felt like I had to dive in and really talk about some of the stuff that was revealed today, because it's all really awesome. I had high expectations, and honestly, everything that I've seen so far is exceeding those expectations. All I need now are more details, some more pictures, and hopefully we'll get all of that at their presentation tomorrow at New York Toy Fair. But first up, we'll break down kind of the Fright Features toy line, which is going to be their main retail toy line. The first thing I saw was on Pop Sugar, which had some of the role-playing toys as well as Ecto 1. And then later on in the day, one of my favorite toy websites, toyarc.com, kind of give a full breakdown of all of the main toy line for the Ghostbusters. So not the Plasma series like we talked about in that spoiler video a few weeks ago. No, this is kind of like the main toy line, the one that's kind of geared towards kids, and it all looks really, really cool. And I think, Mattel just set the bar so low with their last take with the 2016 Ghostbusters toy line that this stuff just seems really, really awesome. And first, let's look at the role-play toys that was first kind of shown on Pop Sugar. But we have the Proton Pack, which is going to be retail at $14.99. Now, it's just going to be the pack. It's not going to have the Neutrino Wand or the Proton Blaster, as they're calling it. But the Proton Blaster is going to be $14.99 as well, so you can get a full pack for $30, which seems really reasonable. Like in terms of the details, we don't see too much. It looks like there could be some light-up features, but again, at the $14.99 price point, it's probably going to be very bare bones, but still it looks great. And definitely evokes the Real Ghostbusters Proton Pack. It's blue, so I think that's really neat. And then the Proton Blaster, it looks like it has some cool. It even has a little bit of the proton stream coming out of it, which is really neat. Not like the Nerf gun kind of thing that we had back in the day, but still looks cool. It's also at $14.99. And then we have the Ghostbusters PKE, which looks awesome. Looks like there's a kind of an action mechanism to let the two little antennas on the side go up. That's at $14.99. The Ghostbusters Proton Blaster mod. And let's see if there's any different details here. But customizable Ghostbusters Proton Blaster MOD made on demand. The primary blaster, complete with sound and light effects, comes with two attachments. The blast and trap and the plasma stream. When kids attach either accessory, unique lights and sounds are activated. Attachments can be placed on 3 locations: on the front, side, back, or main blaster, and kids can customize their blaster to fit their Ghostbuster adventure. So again, that might just be more of a toy, but maybe it's something that will come into play in the film. Given that some of the equipment does look a little bit different in some of the footage from the trailer. But still, it also kind of goes in with some of their different lightsaber stuff they've done. We're going to, again, modify your own lightsaber and some of their Nerf gun stuff. So still a neat toy by the looks of it. The Ghost Whistle So that is another new accessory by the looks of it. So it could just be a toy, but maybe it's something that is also going to be featured in the film. Now, something I'm really excited about is what looks to be called the Ghostbusters Ecto 1 playset. And playset, at first I was like, oh, it's going to open up and it's going to be a playset. But no, it's an actual car that'll fit the Fright Features figures. And it's going to have some action figures. The Data Rocks Instagram page that had some pictures from their actual booth setup showed some more detail on this Ecto 1. So I'm going to kind of show both the press picture and that picture from his Instagram account. But it looks like it's going to feature some of the new, that feature that opens up the gunner seat looks to be a part of this. And something that I really loved is there's definitely an homage to the original Real Ghostbusters Kenner car. So if you look, one of the neat, very simple feature that kind of made the lights, the light bars on top, somewhat light up, is that they use the window, the plastic for the windows to also be the light bars on the top. And if you look at this one, it seems they're doing the same thing with the Ecto 1 playset. But it has even more color than the original toy. You also have real white wall tires. It does seem a little bit shorter on here, but overall, a lot of great detail from what is a kids line toy. But it's absolutely including a lot of features that are going to appeal to us kids, adult kids, and adult collectors. And that one's coming in at $29.99 and will fit the 5-inch scale Ghostbuster Fright Features figures. So speaking of those, let's take a look at those figures. We got a couple press pictures as well as some of, we can see the box art from the Data Rocks Instagram page. And they look great. Again, for a $10 figure, when we first talked about the Fright Features figures on our video back in December, when we got that kind of leaked inventory list, I didn't really have these in mind. I didn't think they were going straight with the original core Ghostbusters, core 4 Ghostbusters, and they have, and they look like just great toys. I know, when I'm selling toys, or even for my kids, there hasn't been great toys for the actual original Ghostbusters film, and it looks like Hasbro is doing just that with these. They're kind of great kind of likeness of the original Ghostbusters, but also like a great toy at the same time by the looks of it. It looks like 5 points, maybe 5 points of articulation on the figure, as well as they each come with a ghost. Looks like Peter comes with a terror dog that has its own kind of fright feature. That's where the fright feature is going to take place. The Winston looks great as well. And the ghost that he comes with looks kind of like one of the flying monkeys from Wizard of Oz. And we also got a Slimer that opens up as well. So these toys look great, and the fact they're going to come, you can get an Ecto 1 from the ride-in is so freaking cool. So these figures are coming in at $9.99 a piece. What we haven't seen yet is the 12-inch scale figures. It's going to be of all 4. So the core 4 original Ghostbusters, those are going to come in at $9.99. So it's going to have a molded proton pack and proton blaster accessory. So I'm sure you've seen this at retail, but a lot of 12-inch kind of toys at that $10 price point. They've done it for the Avengers line, for the Star Wars line, and Mattel has done it in the past for their DC line that also Spin Masters has picked up as well. So they're going all out with their scales. So we got the 5-inch scale, we have the 12-inch scale for the kids, and then we got the 6-inch collectors line, which is going to be the Plasma series figures. All right, let's keep going. There's a lot to talk about. And then we have the Fright Feature Ghosts. So we don't have any pictures here on the Toy Arc post, but looking from the Data Rocks Instagram account from his story from today, looks like we're going to have actual ghosts that'll open up and have a fright feature that are bigger scale, that just look really cool. By the looks of it, from what we've seen, a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and a Slimer, but we might get even more. So that's also at the $9.99 price point. We also have the Mega Mighty Stay Puft Marshmallow Man at that $15 price point. It's bigger. Definitely makes for a great kids toy. Looks like it has kind of changing facial expressions, and that's at $15. And it's kind of meant to be multiple preschool perfect facial expressions kids can express. So again, it seems to be a great kids toy. Like my kids love Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Like they play with some of my original ones from when I was a kid, as well as some of the new ones like the Playmobil one. So great that they're making an awesome one for kids to play with, which I think is really, really cool. And then the Ectoplasm. Now I have still some sealed cans and some cans that are open that still have the Ectoplasm inside. So we'll be able to compare if this new Ectoplasm is just like the old one. But from the looks of it, it looks to be a slightly thicker consistency than the original Ectoplasm. But you're going to have, just like the original Ectoplasm, kind of little mini ghosts inside the slime, which is cool. As well as, these bigger ghosts like Terror Dogs, as well as Stay Puft and Slimer. As well as this blue ghost that's looks just like what we saw in that trailer for a second. So that might be another reveal from Ghostbusters Afterlife. But we got different colors like orange, blue, green, and pink. So again, getting a lot of different colors, which I think is really, really cool. All right, let's go into what was revealed on the Dada Rocks Instagram account. He is obviously there taking pictures from Toy Fair today. I found it because it was reposted on the Hasbro account for their story today. And something that, was rumored they could do because Hasbro, Kenner merged with Hasbro, was bought out by Hasbro in the 90s. And Kenner did the original Ghostbusters toy line. But in one of those pictures, there's a row of what I first thought. I was like, oh, cool, they have, original real Ghostbusters toys that kind of probably show some of the past. But, on second look, they're new figures. They're new figures on original card backs, and we don't know for sure yet how it's going to work, or maybe they're just kind of teasing it or what, but oh my gosh, if they actually do it, and they have, like repro or re-release retro figures from the original Real Ghostbusters toy line from Kenner, it would be so freaking cool. I know some people kind of poo-poo on that. I mean, these were going for like $2,000 when the trailer dropped, which because the original unpunched ones, because there's variants after these first editions, these are the very first ones. And the way you can tell is the card back art. It's a dark blue, which later on they were purple, white text, and but the main giveaway is the Neutrino wand connects at the bottom of the proton pack, where everyone after that connected from the middle there. And looking at the pictures from Dada Rocks, it looks like the cord is coming up from the middle, which to me kind of signals that these are kind of re-released retro figures on retro cards, and it looks like we're getting the original 4 Real Ghostbusters, as well as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, as well as the Slimer. And I just think that's so cool. One of the problems with some of these original figures is they get that plastic cancer and they get kind of dots. Even if they're carded, they can kind of degrade. And getting a chance to get a full set at not $2,000 a piece, I think is great for collectors, great for fans of Real Ghostbusters, and I'm a big supporter of that, and just so excited and so happy that it looks like they're going to do that. So really, really neat news coming out today. We're hopefully going to get a lot of details tomorrow. We're going to have an example here of the Peter with the cord coming out of the back instead of the bottom. But, for these figures, like collecting them, and I've collected them for years, and I've had many in my collection, these proton packs are prone to breaking, this breaks. The actual like beam itself breaks all the time. So for a lot of people, getting a chance to buy those at retail is just so cool. So clearly it looks like Hasbro, the people that are running this toy line, love Ghostbusters, and not only are they making great toys for kids, but they're making toys that also appeal to those of us that grew up with it. And it just looks so cool. One last detail that I don't think I've covered yet is those Plasma series figures that we talked about a few weeks ago. Looks to be the spoilers and rumors that we talked about here are going to be confirmed true with the original 4 Ghostbusters. Didn't get a great detailed look at it, but I'm really pumped to get a closer look tomorrow during the presentation. As well as it looks like we had a Gozer, which is awesome. And we didn't talk about, we're going to have a Build-A-Figure with that as well. I don't know if that's what the Gozer is going to be. But still, while there are more details to come, I am so pumped from what we saw and revealed today on the internet from different websites. And thank you to all those that kind of put it up there. Toy Arc, Pop Sugar, as well as Data Rocks for what he posted today. And kudos for Hasbro for also like kind of sharing that out so all of us fans could geek out about it as well and just get really pumped for what they're going to really confirm and unveil tomorrow at their presentation at 1:30 on their Facebook Live page. We will be here to discuss it as well. I will do a video tomorrow night digging into whatever other details we find out, but still really pumped, really excited here at Geek Dad Life. You better believe we're going to be getting all of these toys to talk about on this channel. So definitely hit like, hit subscribe, and click on that bell icon to be notified when the latest episode of Geek Dad Life drops. Later this week, I'm going to do a throwback Thursday. On Thursday, we're going to dig into that first series, that first wave of Ghostbusters figures. It's one of my favorite toy line and wave of figures of all time. It's going to break those down later this week as well. All right, so until then, hasta luego and goodbye.